Hey, what's up? Hey, Archer's gonna attack. Get back, Archer, it's me. Well, look at these Flexx bars here. Talk about them for a minute. Archer, chill out, it's me, dude. What are you doing? You don't know what you're doing. Go back to sleep. You went full retard. Alright. Anyways, these Flexx bars by Fasst company, they come in a variety of different bends and heights and things like that. They are designed to alleviate stress to your wrist, your elbows, your shoulders, absorb some of the forces impacting your upper body. People have questions of do they work? How do they work? What are they about? Okay, so first off, the bends. There's the Enduro bends, and there's MX bends and adventure bars. The differences between those are the Enduro bars. This area here is like an inch narrower versus the MX bars. So the MX bars will come out overall left and right further away, which is probably good for MX, I guess, if you need a lot of leverage for really sharp turns. These are the Enduro bars, so they're 1 inch overall shorter left to right. These are standard height. They have a low height and a tall height, and basically they have a bends chart on their site. So if you have a favorite bend like CR high bend or YZ or something, you can find the equivalent in their bends. This here is their standard height Enduro bend, 10-degree bend, which pretty much mimics earlier KTM bars. It's a very straight bend. It's got less pullback on the bars, meaning the bars don't come back this way as much. Like I have Pro Taper factory Suzuki KTM bends, and those are really straight bars. These are even straighter this way. But I found that with the straighter bend, I like it a lot. It keeps my wrist on the bike from being at like a weird bendy angle or something. And I don't know, it's better for me. And the shorter distance left to right, I think definitely feels nicer in the woods and trail riding. But how do these things work? What do they do? Well, they have these pivot points right here, one on each side. Each of these arms is separate from the other. So they actually articulate, and then they will move up and down. And I can do it a little here. But when you're going at speed and you're hitting rocks and stuff, they really move up and down. And then down here, there's this blue polymer rubber thing and this yellow one. So this is compression and this is rebound. And they come with different color ones. Red's the hardest, yellow is medium, blue is soft. You can even order some greens, which are like super soft on their site. So you pick your polymers. I went with the softest ones in the kit, or the stock. And then you have this locking nut here. And there's a bolt that runs through. And that's what this nut is attached to. And they say, about 3 threads visible. I have mine on 2, so it actually makes it a little looser. Makes it move more up and down. And then for the hand guards, these are Enduro engineering guards that are specially built for Flexx. You thread inside the bar. It comes with a tap to thread that. And then they are right into the pivot point here with these spacers and this bolt they send you. That's real nice. Everything lines up cool. The only thing you may not like is like on Cycra Pro Bend. You can kind of angle the attachment point up and kind of rotate things around if you want your hand guards more up or down. These are kind of where they're at. And wherever they're at, it's kind of based on how you have your bars angled towards you or whatever. These face straight ahead when I'm actually in riding position. Okay, I have mine in rocks risers just so I can get my bars further away from me because I have real long arms. But how do these work as far as effectiveness on the trail? I think they're pretty damn awesome, especially if you ride in rocks. I had these on Little Joe, and I did a trail ride on him with these on. I did one without and one with. I could definitely notice a difference. Eric tried them on Little Joe, and he said to him it felt like the KLX does with its suspension work having been done. So with the fatty front tire and the drop-in cartridges from Cogent Dynamics in the suspension, and then the Flexx bars, my front end is pretty darn cushy on rocks. Now, some people might say, well, you lose a little bit of feel maybe. That's okay, because I know at the end of the day, my shoulders and elbows and stuff don't feel all beat up. When I did that ride on Little Joe with just standard bars, I really had a lot of aches and pains in my elbows and wrist the next day. And then when I did the next ride, when I had the Flexx bars on, I really didn't have any aches and pains at the end of the day or the next day. And I just used these last weekend. I put them on Green Fury here, and they were great. When you go over rocks and stuff, that little bit of up and down flex, really absorbs the shock of it, and having the different polymers in there, to your preference and how much you leave the bolt undone so they can move up and down. That can all be tuned, to your preference. There's lots of combos, but it to me, I really notice the difference right away. And especially like the next day with just how I feel. So I would say, the hype is real on these. They do what they say they will do. And if you're an older guy and maybe you have some wrist pains or things like that, or you feel a little beat up the next day in the upper body, I would say first thing is get your suspension done. That would be step number one and the most critical step. Step number two would be throw a big old Golden Tire fatty 216 tire on the front, and then throw some Flexx bars on there as the icing on the cake, and that's going to make your front of your bike just super nice, especially in choppy, rough terrain. Anyways, I dig them. People have said that once they've ridden trails with these or whatever, they won't use anything else, and I can certainly agree with their feelings on it. I think they're pretty darn great. All right, that's all. Take it easy, dudes.